direct effect on it.
Doug Charlson, Creek Road. I assume my own liability when I get on my bike. I took off last night, quick 30 miles. That's my problem, not the county's. I'm assuming my own liability by getting on your road. I have health coverage for myself if I have an accident. I didn't even see hardly anybody last night. So why is it an issue if there's 10 or if I'm by myself? If there's 3 guys or 30 guys? I'm assuming my own liability. I don't think you guys are getting that. If a rider decides to go bike, that's his problem. I'm assuming my own liability. How can the county be liable for what I do on the road?
And if you had hit this pothole and
Which I have.
okay, and were killed, you assumed your liability, maybe even on one of these organized rides you signed a waiver.
Exactly.
Okay. Does that preclude your family from suing somebody?
No. It's the rider. The rider assumes his own liability. I'm talking about if I go bike by myself.
Understand.
Why are you guys liable? That's the bottom line.
So how do you...
You're not liable for anything. It's my liability. I got in my car today to go mow. Is that your liability? Because I hit a pothole out on R16 with my trailer? No, it's my liability because I decided to go mow. I can call and report it, and I have on a couple of occasions. And told the county there's a pothole on R16 north of Highway 44, approximately two miles north of town. And they said, we'll fix it. Okay? I'm just an observant rider. But I'm telling you guys, we assume our own liability if we're going to go ride. So I think you're making a mountain out of a molehill. I really do.
I'm Steve Franzenburg from Clyde, Dallas County Charter Clyde. Why are only bicyclists being mentioned, given his example of somebody going out for a ride? Are you also asking motorcyclists to indemnify the county when they go for a ride? What's the difference?
I think a deer.
I've already spoke, but I don't know if I can still address the insurance issue. I'm not privy to all the facts of the Crawford County incident, but I think it's something that I don't think a lot of the county supervisors are aware of what happened out there that day. I can't tell you exactly, and I would encourage you to find out for yourself, but I'll just give you some of the highlights. From my understanding of the incident, there were two cyclists hit a defect in the road, whatever that defect was. Okay.
Yes, it was the defect.
Whatever.
It was a center line joint.
When I say defect, a spot of the road that caused something to happen.
Whatever,
and I'm not going to worry if it was a pothole or a crack or a center line. I'm not going to worry about that because I really want to talk about. So 2 people hit the same area and went down and were injured. Okay. Neither of them sued the county. After 2 people were severely injured, a county employee was dispatched to the area, set up cones, and was stationed there to warn other riders of the dangerous spot. That county employee on his then removed the cones, left the area while there were still cyclists traveling down that path. And at that point, after that obstruction, problem, whatever you want to call it, was then re-exposed, the cyclist hit it and was killed. The county, Crawford County, set an action in place to protect the people of Ragbri, to protect the citizens traveling in their county, and then took away that protective device and left a hazardous condition. That's what I believe was the reason that the county settled out of court, because I don't think they had a chance in court. It was not, I don't believe it was a crack problem, it was a negligence problem. And I would encourage the supervisors to find out more information, because if, just like you had a bridge washout with the floods, you put up a barricade to keep cars out. If the county employees would have pulled the barricades down and left that situation exposed, and a car went in there and someone was killed, you bet your butt the county would be sued till tomorrow in a minute. That's what the situation was in Crawford County. It wasn't just a biker going on the road.
you guys know that? Just,
Jeff's explanation was pretty accurate. There were a number of factors, but, and I apologize for interrupting the clarification, but what it was a centerline joint, which serves every concrete pavement in the state. And those are the type of things that can cause a problem on county roads. Shoulder drop off, 1H centerline joint. It can cause problems with bikes, or it doesn't cause problems with motorcycles or other modes of transportation.
Can I readdress? Okay. That's right, but I remember that crack, and it was a crack, and it was a centerline joint, but it's an old road, and it was wider than the typical one. I've ridden on all the roads in Iowa. I'll save you the spiel about it. I've ridden for 50 years, but I know almost all the roads, and that one was wide. I mean, I went over it and thought, this is dangerous, okay? But what concerns me is two things. One, there's a lot of talk about trail riding, and trail riding is one thing. I don't think people are really concerned about trails right now. You're concerned about roads and liabilities there. But what I hear, not only in this county but other counties, supervisors are trying to get out of being responsible for jobs they're supposed to do, fixing roads, having people driving around and saying, "Ooh, this looks like it could be dangerous." And this is my concern about engineers, because you have to broaden your horizon. It's not just bicycles that are out there riding. There's cars, there's motorcycles, there's everybody, you know. And like Mark said about educating the public, people need to be aware there's bicycles out there, you know. And county employees who are driving around with a truckload of hot asphalt to throw in cracks should think, well, you know, this could save a bicyclist too. It's your job to make safe roads. You can't just say, well, they're not designed for bikes. That's crap, you know. They're designed for everybody. They're to be used for everybody. And I'm sitting back here getting a little worked up because you want to get out, you know, you're blaming the trial attorneys, but do your job and the roads will be safe for everybody and we'll all be happy. You know, we'll come out here, Dallas County, spend money and everybody will be fine. Do your job. That's all you got to do.
I'd like to make a comment. I'm sure none of you realize that Mr. George serves as president of the ISAC County State Engineers Association, and we have Mr. Reesler, who serves as the president of the County Attorneys Association. So we have quite a bit of knowledge, respect from the state on these gentlemen, and I think they know what they're doing.
Doesn't sound like to me. Sorry.
So they've got the experience, they've got the years, and they've got 99 other counties of engineers and attorneys that they work with. So we do have some expertise here.
I'd like to redirect to please. Some of the things that I've heard concern me. As Angela mentioned, she was one of the organizers for Bike to Work Week statewide. I worked for an architectural firm in Des Moines, and I've kind of taken up the cause in our office to encourage our employees to bike to work, and I personally organized a ride to work for our employees. This year we had over 60 employees that signed up for my ride, some of which started in Waukee, Dallas Center, and other parts of Dallas County. And, you know, am I now, even though maybe there were less than a dozen of them that started in that county and ended up in Des Moines, am I now going to have to provide liability insurance for a ride when I'm just trying to encourage my employees and people in my office to ride to work and get exercise and be fit and those kinds of things? So, you know, this ordinance is very broad-based, and I think it can open a lot of things that haven't been decided and thought about. And I certainly couldn't afford to provide liability insurance for a ride that I'm trying to organize for people to be healthy and to save a few gallons again.